Hello, this is Adam, joined by Jamie and Mateo, and today we'll be discussing 6 key topics on coastline environments, including the effects of wave action on the coastline, the types of erosion and the damage this does to coastlines, landforms created by wave action and also landforms created by deposition, longshore drift, and finally case studies.
All right, thank you, Adam. Wave action can affect the coastline in many different ways. The most obvious way it changes the landscape is by continually dragging sediment down the beach using a combination of gravity and backwash. This process will drag the sediment, usually sand or small pebbles, down a beach, permanently altering the shape. This process is called longshore drift, which you will learn more about later in the presentation. Another main effect that wave action has on land is creating inlets and peninsulas. This can be observed in places like the Lynn Peninsula in northern Wales. As the wave approaches the land, the part that juts out receives the most of the brunt impact, which results in several examples of weathering and erosion. These effects can range from islands off the coast or cliffs at the water's edge.
Thank you, Jamie. The coastal environments have four types of erosion factors. Firstly, corrosion is the process in which some materials are dissolved by seawater. Seawater can start to corrode the metal on a certain infrastructures such as bridges, barges, and ships. Corrosion, or abrasion, is when the sand in the turbulent waters that scour the surface of the rocks like sandpaper. This can make the rocks smoother and can cause people to slip and hurt themselves. Abrasion can remove paint off man-made structures, exposing the metal to the possible corrosion. Attrition is the action of rocks hitting other rocks and causing them to fracture. These rocks can hit other man-made structures like boats, docks, piers, causing mass danger. Finally, hydraulic action is the process in which both the water and air are slowly digging cracks in the rocks deeper and deeper until the rocks split. This can cause damage to the foundation of buildings close to the water and undercutting the base of a large or small cliff with a human infrastructure on it. No more beach house parties. Sorry.
All right, great stuff, Mateo. Several landforms are produced by this wave action. The most common and often striking types are headlands and stacks. A great example of these can be found in Canada's own Bay of Fundy, which is home to some of the world's most breathtaking examples of wave action creating landforms. These stacks are formed by wave action, causing a small crack in a coastline, most commonly a cliff, and that eventually becomes a large cave. Eventually, these caves collapse, leaving a stack of rock that looks as if it's been dropped out of the sky. As for some of the more common and less glamorous features, cliffs are actually a result of the wave action, interacting with the land to cause a steep shore slope. These are just some of the features that are caused by wave action, so next time you see cliffs or a stack or even a headland, make sure to give the creator of those features a little wave.
As Jamie mentioned earlier, I will be talking about longshore drift. So, what is longshore drift? Longshore drift is the transportation of sand and pebbles along the coast. This happens when the direction of wind affects the angle of the waves, creating a gradient at which the waves hit the coast. When the waves hit the coast, they bring in different kinds of sediments, washing them up the coast. This process is called swash. Backwash, however, carries the material back down the beach and into the water. The direction of the waves is determined by the strength of the prevailing wind. This entire process, from a bird's eye view, looks somewhat like a zigzag pattern. When longshore drift occurs, it erodes and depletes the sand, making the beach look unappealing. However, steps have been taken to slow the process, such as groins and artificial headlands. Along coastline, you'll find three main landforms created by deposition: beaches, spits, and tombolos. Everyone has heard of a beach before, but not everyone is sure of how they are formed. They are made up of eroded material that has been transported and deposited by the sea. At beaches, the smallest material is deposited closest to the coastline, while the larger material is found at the back of the beach, usually near cliffs. The material is smaller near the coastline because the waves crash on the sediment, causing it to break down. This is called attrition. Spits, also known as sandbars, are also formed by deposition. A spit is an extended stretch of beach material that stretches out into the sea. They are formed when a prevailing wind blows at an angle, resulting in longshore drift. As time goes on, the spit grows and its formation is determined by which way the wind blows. Waves are unable to go through or over a spit. often resulting in mudflats or salt marshes. Lastly, we have tombolos. A tombolo is a small stretch of sediment that connects a spit to the mainland.
Thank you, Adam. Real live examples of these landform problems are displayed in places like Barton-on-the-Sea, New Brighton, Thursaston, and the Tohoku tsunami that hit Japan. Barton-on-Sea are a number of cliffs located in the south of England. Because of their geographical placement, the erosion process is quickened by the mass amounts of wind it experiences. The cliffs, which are mainly composed of salt clay, also known as Barton clay, are particularly weak rock, and it results in the rapid erosion and the mass movement of sections of the cliff which are posing a risk to people and buildings along the stretch of the coastline at Barton's-on-Sea. New Brighton and Liverpool is quite susceptible to coastal flooding and erosion because of its low pressure system and geographical location. It is located next to the Irish Sea and takes a powerful energetic waves which speeds up the erosion process. The people of New Brighton have placed defense systems in place. One of the defense systems is the King Parade seawall. The top of the wall is curved in order to reflect the energy of the waves back into the ocean. This helps reduce the rate at which the seawall is worn down, since it is slowly being worn away. This is one of the main issues with the wall. It requires a lot of attention and is very expensive. Finally, on March 11th, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake hit 70 kilometers from Tohoku, Japan. The earthquake displaced water in the Pacific Ocean by near 6 meters, creating a powerful tsunami that devastated the eastern coastline of Japan. The first wave of the tsunami took around an hour to reach the coastline. After several waves impacted the coast with heights ranging from 3 meters to 20 meters in different areas around Japan. In the city of Sendai, the tsunami flooded land 10 kilometers away from the coast.